So I was doing a market research just a few months ago and I was asking about fears. And I had 3 persons said that they had no fear. And I found that quite interesting. And really, I was taken aback by it too. But I started looking at the results from these individuals and I realized that they seem to have a better control on the challenges that they faced. And I'm looking around me and I'm realizing that most of our challenges and obstacles that we face are caused by fear. Today, I will talk about remove fear and eliminate many of your challenges. You want to skyrocket your results? Then for sure, you have to remove fear. And when you're finished listening, you'll definitely see the influence of fear in your life. It's unlikely you have any issues in your life that weren't created by fear. If you're new to this channel, my name is Genese Smith and I am a dream builder and transformational life coach, and my strongest desire is to share all that I have learned from my own life experiences, as well as share all that I'm learning now in mindset change and how we can be empowered in different areas of our lives, even though sometimes we feel down and out. I also love to encourage individuals step out in confidence, especially after a very challenging time in life. You might not think that your financial or relationship challenges have anything to do with fear. But, if we're honest, you'll probably realize that many of your challenges and the obstacles are caused by fears and your inability to deal with them in an appropriate way. Not convinced? Well, consider some examples that I'll give you. All right, when we look at relationships and the issues in relationship, the fear of abandonment is a common fear. And it's also common to fear the loss of autonomy or freedom. Trust issues can also be fear-based. And you might be afraid that you won't be accepted fully. All right, let's look at money issues, for example. Many people deal with their fear and their anxiety by shopping, which we know can create debt. And some simply fear discomfort and they're unable to let go of that expensive car or probably just simply a morning coffee. And you might say, Genese, I don't have any of those. But I'm going to ask you, what about procrastination? Procrastination can be caused by fear of failure, or I should say, the perceived discomfort of performing some unpleasant task. For example, you might fear that you're missing out on something exciting, and then you go and you check your email instead of working. Another one I could give you that we often overlook is being stuck in a job that we dislike. And you might be afraid that no other decent jobs exist for you. So you might be fearful of giving up your benefits or getting a new job that pays less. So you might be afraid of going through the application process again and competing for a better job. And these are just a few examples. Consider other parts of your life that are challenging. Can you see how fear is having a negative impact? But we also see where we are. But we're not going to stay there. We're thinking solution. We can even apply some of the critical thinking I spoke about in one of my videos. And I will leave the link for you just in case you missed it. So now you know how to handle your fears that are holding you back. One thing it's good for you to consider, realize that your fear is uncomfortable, but it isn't a good reason to avoid doing something. Fear is helpful if you're considering doing something physically dangerous. But at the end of the day, fear is simply a feeling. There's no reason to let fear guide every decision you make. The second thing I'd like you to think about is think about the fearful activity and just simply breathe. Your body is unable to maintain a fear reaction in a long term. So there is a psychological technique called flooding. And in flooding, a person is exposed to their fear without being allowed any reprieve. So think about the activity that makes you uncomfortable and then focus on taking long, deep breaths. And notice how you start to feel better. Another thing I'd like to suggest is make a list of the ways that fear is holding you back. And if some part of your life is in complete turmoil, then it's likely that you made poor decisions in the past, right? So ask yourself, how did fear affect your decision-making ability at that time? The fourth thing I'd like you to think about is remember the times that you were fearful and still made a good choice. You've likely had times when you felt fear, but you managed to take the appropriate course of action anyway. So just remind yourself of those times and remember how strong you can be. The fifth thing I want to talk about is practice dealing with discomfort. Take a situation that you find mildly uncomfortable. It could be simply as something that you're eating, like eating peas, or for some persons it may be talking to an attractive member of the opposite sex. Force yourself to deal with small doses of the discomfort, right? And then just increase the level of exposure over time. So although it's challenging to give up the habit of avoidance, you'll be surprised at how much you can tolerate. Fear is the most common cause of challenges in life. All right? So learn to work through fear and gain the ability to make positive choices. And you'll boost your self-esteem and you'll enjoy a better and a happier life. So learn to embrace discomfort as a positive sign that your life is about to change for the better, and get started today. I know we have covered a lot today. And whenever things seem a little overwhelming, I can remember my husband saying to me, "Genese, how do you eat an elephant?" And he answers, "One bite at a time." And sometimes I'm tempted to say to him, I've never had an elephant. I've never eaten an elephant, but I get the point he's making, so I take it. And I'll definitely provide a way to deal with your challenges quickly and simply in my next video. And that doesn't necessarily mean it will be easy, but look out for it. And if you have not done so already, click that subscribe button so that you can be notified of my new upload as soon as possible. So here's what will help you today and the next few days while you wait for my new upload. You need to do this today. So become more adept at dealing with discomfort in your daily life. And this can be a little challenging because we're programmed to seek out comfort. And we're so quick to respond to any form of discomfort. Our ability to withstand it is compromised. So rebuild that ability in yourself. Here are a few ideas to stimulate your thinking. So the first idea I'm going to give you that you can use while you're waiting for that new upload. Number one, when you have the urge to get something to eat, make yourself wait another 30 minutes. When you feel like quitting an enjoyable task, persist for another 15 minutes. Have challenging conversations instead of avoiding them. Refuse to engage in your most common avoidance or distraction techniques, cell phone, the internet, the TV, and so on. And guess what? That's it for today. Thanks so much for joining.